Having expectations kills the joy of anything, especially when you're like creating something, um, just working towards something. When you put such a big expectation, it leads to great disappointment. You know that saying of great expectations lead to great disappointments, and it's so true. Like, I think it's okay to expect something, like obviously something good, something awesome. When you're like in the middle of working, you want to have that outlook of, hey, this has to work. And it can coincide with having a positive mindset, the hula boo of positivity. But this is the thing, sometimes you don't get what you want, and that's okay. Well, actually, it's not okay. Like, sometimes you're not gonna get what you want, and it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad about it. It's okay to be a bitch about it, even. Um, it didn't work out. That sucks. But you know what? You're still alive. You still have things to be grateful for. You still have a whole life ahead of you that requires you to be awesome and to be honest and have integrity and still show up for yourself and still show up for the people in your life and to show up and be accountable and be responsible. You are possibly an adult now. It's time to show responsibility and show commitment to the various things that are around you in this life. Especially when you're like creating something, when you're creative, it's very easy to focus on the outcome. Like, let's say for example you're writing a book. You start thinking of, I'm going to win awards, I am going to write the best-selling book of all time. What this does, it could be overwhelming for you to a point where instead of focusing on just writing 1,000 words, you are constantly in the thought process of thinking about it's over and now you're winning. But the weight of putting 1,000 words on paper or on your computer screen when you're like typing, that weight is extreme. Not everybody is built to write, and that's okay. Focus on one step at a time. Expectations force you to have the whole thing figured out, to have everything sorted out in your brain and say, hey, I'm gonna take A, B, C, D, E, F, G steps. And that's great. For some people who are plan A type of people, plan A personalities who require that kind of step by step kind of era. I ran out of a word to say. In order for them to go towards something that they want to achieve or whatever, it takes away from the fact that life is not always in alignment with what you want, and things may not turn out the way you want them, and that's okay. Or it's not okay. You can cry about it. You can have a fit day over it. That's okay. Not every day is a sunny day. Not every day is a chirpy day. But you have to show up. You are forced to be in commitment. I think I'm telling myself this because genuinely, I'm tired. I am exhausted. But this week has been a good week. Let us be honest. I've been into a new podcast. It's called Casual Magic by Unjaded Jade. Really cool. I started watching her when I was in uni. She was a study tuber originally, and I was in an era where I needed encouragement, and I was trying to learn how to study because clearly I had failed a module as per our last conversation. I had failed a module and I quickly realized I need help. And I started watching StudyTube, and I was pretending when I was studying that I was recording for YouTube. So I'd watch Jada Jade, I'd watch who else was I was watching? Brianna Kwan. She's the American Korean study tuber. Who else was I watching? Eve Cornwell, my goddess. Like, she was the ultimate diva, especially like her cram with me, like prepare for an exam with me. Those were always funny. She was a funny content creator. And I just digressed the conversation. I literally just digressed, and that's okay, that's fine. As you can tell, I did not have like a clear plan of what I'm gonna say, because I just kept thinking of the fact that expectations really do lead to disappointments, and it's okay to be disappointed sometimes. I don't know if expectations are a good thing or a bad thing. There's no easy way to say it or decisive way to say having expectations is good or it's bad. Because I think having expectations is also good in the sense that you can't just work towards something and not expect to get anything at the end. Like, when you work towards something, you expect to get a result. Now, it's the expectation itself that is like, you need to kind of have an idea, like, it might go right, and when it goes right, this is what may come from it, or it may go wrong, and this is what may come from it. And it's very hard, especially for anybody. I don't think a lot of people think about the bad things that may happen. Like, if you start a podcast, the thought of, I might create 100 episodes and no one watches this, no one will ever know that I created content. Or I might expect to create 100 episodes and not even get to 20 because the anxiety of having to come up with new content all the time, and just going on camera. For me, it's the going on camera for me that is, if it was just like audio version, I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll be fine. But because it's video, like, video stresses my soul, right? But here's my, if you didn't get anything at all from this, I just want you to know that let go of your expectations as they are. Sometimes life, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, has something else for you. You want to record a podcast in the morning, people keep moving their vehicles. Very rude. Very, very rude. But we keep it moving. Expectations are bold, but you have to be flexible and malleable, and you have to be quick to adapt, because sometimes the things that come from your effort will look totally different from what you wanted initially, and that's okay. That's a-okay. There's nothing wrong with just with whatever comes your way. But I think, like we said the last time, it's the journey. Okay, focus on growing. And you know what, you don't even have to grow necessarily, just focus on the journey. Whatever the journey allows you to be, whether it allows you to grow, whether it allows you to experience life, whether it allows you to go through a season of depression or a winter season. In the next episode, we are going to be talking about seasons and what they look like for our lives, and like what to expect from each season, and how to kind of move in each and every season. So that was it from me. I'm Tiny-Winnet. This is the A Not So Cute podcast. Definitely, this episode was a Not So Cute podcast featuring the sounds of Harare. Yeah, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Is it? Yeah, and if you're listening on Spotify, please be sure to follow, download, and rate this podcast. From me to you, have a great week.